Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to take a moment to introduce myself first. I'm Shella from the University of Bunda Mulia, who will be sharing with you all. So, I would like to say thank you for gathering here today to explore the topic that shapes our societies, challenge norm, and continues to inspire change in the role of women in history and society. Women have played pivotal roles in shaping civilizations over the centuries, and women's roles have evolved significantly, reflecting the transformations of society itself. Still, the path to recognition and equality has been long and fraught with challenges. I will walk you through these evolutions by focusing on three critical time periods: the past, the middle period, and the present. So, let's talk about the past first. Like in historical roles, it happens before 500 Domino. In ancient times, women's roles were largely divided by patriarchal systems that relegated them to domestic and reproductive duties. In cultural roles across civilizations in many ancient societies, such as in Mesopotamia and Greece, women's primary responsibility were household management and child rearing. For example, in Sparta, women were given some autonomy and were valued for their ability to produce strong sons. And in Athens, either women had limited rights and were confined to the private sphere. So the both examples shows us that women doesn't have right at that time. The overlooked contributions many women, especially in agricultural societies, played significant role in maintaining the economy by farming, weaving, and selling goods. So, in accordance to studies by economic historians, women provided up to 40% of labor in certain ancient agricultural systems. Despite these contributions, they were often excluded from decision-making processes. Okay, let's move to the middle period. It happens between the 500 until 1500 Anno Domino, the rise of social movement, and the push for equality during the 19th and early 20th centuries that women began to demand more rights, including suffrage, access to education, and employment opportunities. That the industrial revolutions and the world wars acted as catalysts for change, bringing women into the workforce and the public sphere. The suffrage movement in the late 19th centuries, women in the United States, the UK, and other parts of Europe started organizing for the rights for vote. Figures like Susan B. Anthony and Emmeline Pankhurst led movement that eventually culminated in the US and in grantings of women's suffrage. So women gained the right to vote in 1920 through the 19th Amendment. So by 1920, women's suffrage was recognized in many Western countries. However, it took nearly a century more for some countries in the Middle East and other regions to grant women to the right to vote. So I have some facts again that education and employment in 19th centuries also saw the shift as women more pursued higher educations. So for the example, like women were admitted to university like Oxford in 1978 by the mid 20th century, that more women were entering professions like medicine, law, and business, breaking into the field reserved for men. Okay, let's move to the present. The Industrial Revolutions and the onset of modernity mark a major turning point of women's roles that the fight for women's suffrage, labor rights, and access to education becomes central to the narrative of progress. As of 20 and 2022, women held about 27% of parliamentary seats globally, up from just 11% in 1995. However, in some regions, this number is much lower, reflecting ongoing inequality. For the Gender equality in education and employment, women now make up more than more than 50% of university graduates in many countries, and their presence in STEM fields like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is growing. And however, gender pay gaps still exist, and with women earning about um, 18 cents for every dollars earned by men in many countries. So the fact in the United States the gender wage gap has narrowed significantly since the 1980s, but women of color in particular still face larger gaps in earnings compared to white men. For the testimony that have hashtag Me Too movement and social change movement like Me Too, which began in 2017, highlight the ongoing struggles women face in terms of harassment and abuse. This movement has created a global conversation about the gender equality, inequality in both the public and private spheres, with countless women coming forward to share their stories. So, in the conclusions, the role of women in history and society has been marked by gradual progress towards equality, from being rules and intellectuals and in ancient times to fighting for basic rights. The modern era, women's contributions have been indispensable. Yet the journey is far from over. So, as we stand here today, it is essential that we not only recognize the achievements of women in the past, but also continue striving for the future where equality is not a goal but a reality. Let's us celebrate the past, work toward and a more equitability presence and pave the way for an even brighter future for all women. Okay, I'm Sheila. That's the speech about the roles of women, and thank you. Goodbye.